right, awesome. Welcome back to the Executive Playbook, the show where we unpack real world strategies, smart pivots, and high leverage moves from operators, founders, and deal makers scaling modern businesses. I'm your host, Jay Twitty. Today we'll be sitting down with Jason Sherman. Jason's a tech founder, content strategist, and creator who's been in the game for over 20 years. He is the founder of Vengo AI, a SaaS platform that helps service-based businesses automate the entire content marketing strategy using AI. So Jason's built and exited multiple startups, and what he's doing now with AI automation for small businesses is seriously impressive. So wanted to get him on, and we're going to be getting to his story and talk about the origin story for Vengo AI, what's broken about most small businesses and how they handle content, and the future of AI content automations and lead capture for service providers. So let's jump on in. So Jason, I know that you've got a long track record in tech and startups. So for anybody that's just getting introduced to you, can you give us a quick background on your journey and what led to building Vengo AI?
Sure, Jay. It's been a long road. You're right. I remember starting my first company in college. The internet was just invented. That dates me. And I remember just being really intrigued by the possibility of being able to put a business on the internet for people to see. Before that, it was always just like handing out flyers, but now it's like the internet is a flyer.
Yeah.
So 20 plus years after college of me just building different things, right? Trying different ideas and learning a lot along the way. And of course, picking up skills, whether it was how to do filmmaking or music or writing or anything that goes along with it. And then, of course, my core business being technology. So when you put all those together, it can be any business, right? Because when you're doing film, you're also doing video content. When you're doing writing, you're also writing blogs, right? Or content for your customers. And when it comes to music, that also has a place in it, because if you're putting music into commercials or ads, same thing. So I just feel like all the skills I picked up over the years culminated into any startup that I run now, and it's very helpful to do that. And Vengo, I've always been fascinated with AI. I mean, you see my background. I got tech gadgets galore from starting at 8 years old until today. That's pretty much all that stuff. And I've written about AI in stories over the last 15 years. I've been published in magazines writing about AI. So I've always been fascinated by AI. And I always wanted to run an AI business. So during the pandemic, it was the perfect time to try new things because everybody was stuck at home. Nobody was able to go anywhere. And so I built a platform that helped people connect. And we put AI in that platform. And it turned out that that was the part that people liked the most. So we didn't pivot because that platform is still alive. But we took the AI and separated it and created a whole separate infrastructure, separate platform just for that. And that's what Vengo AI became.
Okay.
Ironically, we had to pivot because it started out as what I thought was a consumer creator marketplace for AI. So basically people build AI, they can sell it to their followers. Like think an influencer's got 1 million followers, but they can't talk to all those people, but their AI can. That's what we thought it was. But we started hearing from business owners, no, we need to capture leads on our website. So we would really like to train the AI to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll build that. So we just kind of took what we built and just tweaked it, changed it, and built this B2B SaaS platform that helps business owners capture leads on their website. And it's going really well.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess that's a great service and awesome that you guys were able to pivot from listening to your client base. What does your day to day look like now as the founder of that company that's bridging AI and small businesses?
So now that we've built the product, we have traction, we have over 200 customers, and we've been fundraising, although that's challenging in this financial climate. We've been just working on getting traction. So it's really mostly talking to business owners to find out what their needs are, showing them the power of our platform because it's fully automated. You don't have to actually do any work, which is really important. Most business owners are just really busy. At least they say they are. They don't have any time to do anything. So we like to say our AI is like a 5 minute setup or less. And you can actually sign up in 30 seconds and then you don't have to train the AI. It trains on your website.
Okay.
So I built a microservice about 2 months ago called Site to Agent that automatically trains any AI agent on any platform for you. It gives you a knowledge base and all the information. I built that separately because I needed something for myself to start training the AI on Vengo.
Sure.
So we ended up integrating that API into Vengo, and now you don't have to train your AI anymore. It does it automatically. So my day to day is really sales and marketing, development, testing, building other microservices. We're building other things on the side, and also talking to a lot of business owners about marketing. It seems like that's the pain point these days.
Hmm.
I have a lot of people come to
Yeah.
me, Jay, and they ask me like, how do I get my business up and running? What do I have to do to like make this business take off? And it's a lot of work. I mean, I can go
Hmm.
through the list of stuff that needs to get done
Yeah.
in order to do this, but it's going to bore people to death probably.
Yeah, and that's actually, one of the things I love, when I was reading about Vengo AI, it's really just how you're simplifying content marketing for people who aren't tech savvy. Most founders and people that have a business idea, they're really good at what they do, but it's hard to really get out there and, tell what your business does so you can get clients in. So can you walk through a little bit of, how your business helps with that, how it works, and what kind of business owner it's really best suited for?
Yeah, and the answer to the what type of business owner, there is really no limit. And I say that because it really is based on whether or not you have a website. So if you're a business owner, it could be a large corporate. I mean, we're talking to universities right now, government agencies. It could be huge, or it could be just like a person who's like a life coach, right? It could be someone who wrote a book. It could be somebody who sells pet products. It could be a Shopify store, anything really. If you have a website, the statistic is, and this is a fact, 2 to 5% of the people that come to your website are being captured as leads. That means you're missing 95 to 98% of the people who
Yeah.
come to your website. That's a fact. Boom.
Yeah.
You're missing thousands of potential customers every day on your website. We come in and our AI agent sits on your website, looks like a person, talks like a person, acts like a person, sells like a person. Matter of fact, it sells like you, the business owner, because it knows what you know. Okay. So when the customer comes to the website now and talks to this AI agent, the goal of the AI agent is to give you all the answers you are looking for, but in a very human-like way.
Mhm.
And it captures your name, email, phone number, and it sends all of that along with a conversation summary and the chat transcript to the business owner when the conversation is done. So you know that Dave is looking for 10 dog leashes to sell at a county fair and he wants them by Saturday. You already know this. You didn't talk to
Yeah.
Dave. You didn't waste your time answering his questions. You didn't do anything. All you know is that he wants these on Saturday. So when you
Mhm.
call or email him, the deal's done. You're just closing sales left and
Yeah.
right, and that's what we're offering. We're offering
Gotcha.
that final sale close.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, in a lot of my conversations that I've had with business owners, it's around trust. So, handing over your support or your sales, to AI, trusting that process. How are you and, your team at Vengo, how are you guys helping to ease some of those fears?
It's a really good question because that is our number one challenge is
Yeah.
not only educating people as to the fact that A, they need AI to future proof their business, but B, their competitors are using it and they're going to be left behind. And three, there's nothing to be afraid about. If anything, it's just going to enhance your customer service. It's going to make your business stand out from the other ones. And the biggest piece here is you're going to capture that 96% of those leads that you're missing. So this whole thing about being afraid of AI, were you afraid of electricity when it came out? Were you afraid of the automobile when it came
Yeah.
out? Were you afraid of the washer machine, believe it or not, which changed a lot of things because people were washing clothes outside for 10 hours a day and the washing machine came out and it just saved all that time? Were you
Mhm.
afraid of the smartphone?
Yeah.
The space
Exactly.
shuttle? Were you afraid of the internet? I mean, these are all things that people might have been afraid of, but they embraced eventually. It's
Hmm.
the people who adapted to them early on, the early adopters, who capitalized on the innovations and were able to, excel in their field, gain more expertise, be more productive, and make more revenue.
Hmm.
AI is no different. Just add it
Yeah.
to that list of stuff I mentioned. It's yet another tool to add to your toolbox to become the best founder, the best business owner you can possibly be.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely a great answer right there, and I agree with that. You know, we're just at a new shift in the world, and you get that first movers advantage if you're able to see the trend and jump in early. So, great that we got people like yourself in mind that are out here educating and helping people get more comfortable. So that's awesome.
Fighting the good
Um,
fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what is as you scale? Of course, we just talked about educating our clients, but what's one of the biggest challenges your team is navigating right now as you scale? And, where do you see Vengo in the next 6 to 12 months as you conquer some of those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's kind of boring. It's kind of lame, the fact that funding is the challenge these days for any startup.
Mm,
It wasn't like that, maybe 6 to 10 years ago before the pandemic. The traction, the revenue, the technology we've built, the team we have, the customer base, everything that we have, say like in 2018, we would have gotten funding.
yeah.
No, no doubt about it. Like we would have gotten funding, but now investors are expecting like 10 to 20 to 50 times what we already have before they invest. And I mean, the word impossible comes to mind, because how do you get to $1 million in revenue without ad spend?
Hmm.
You need to be able to spend money on ads. And if your budget is limited to a certain amount per month, then you're only limited to that many customers per month. And our ads are really performing well. Like just this weekend alone, one ad we posted got 6 customers.
Awesome.
I mean, investors don't care. They want to hear that one ad got 6,000 customers. But how do
Hmm.
you do that if your ad spend is like $50 a day?
Yeah.
You need $500 a day or $1,000 a day, and that's where their funding comes in. And
Hmm.
and there used to be this kind of sentiment around VCs and Silicon Valley and everywhere that invest, that all startups should be looking for funding is fuel for the fire. So that means they should already have a platform, a team, revenue, traction, everything's ready to go. It's a rocket sitting on the launch pad, ready to take off, and all they need is fuel to go.
Hmm.
That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Now they want to see the rocket already landed on the moon, and then they'll invest. And I'm sorry to say, not only is that extremely unfair, but it's unrealistic, because
Yeah.
nobody can launch to the moon without government funding. As we know, the Artemis mission has been having all these setbacks, right?
Hmm.
So the same goes for a startup. We need the fuel to take off. In the meantime, we're just chugging along. We're getting university contracts, government contracts. We're going to get our own funding that way and just bypass VCs completely.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it may take a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
you have a strong product
Yep.
and a strong team that you guys will just get it done. It'll, just a
Just
little bit,
bypass them.
regular fuel instead of premium fuel right now. So
Yep. Just leapfrog. We're going to leapfrog right over them.
absolutely. Well, that's cool, man. So, one last question. So you've been in tech and startup land for a while now. With all the noise around AI in 2025, what trends are you personally watching that most people might be sleeping on?
Yeah, that's another good question. I mean, the fact that AI has been moving at such a fast rate. I mean, when it first came out, it was, pretty rudimentary and primitive, but now, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. I mean, I'm saving 80% of my daily workload using AI, which means I'm able to do more creation, more, productive things. I
Hmm.
think the piece that people, they're not, I don't know if they're sleeping on it, because video is really this big thing right now. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
noticing video is getting really good. I mean, people might not know, but like almost 50% of Hollywood has been let go
Yeah.
in recent months or even the last year. I mean, I know people in that work in the industry, and they're saying that they're losing 50% of their workers. So they're scared about video. So I'd say video is going to be the next big thing, because it's getting to the point now, not quite close enough yet, but it's almost there, where you'll be able to create videos that look just like the real thing, and you won't be able to tell the difference.
Hmm.
When that happens, you're going to be democratizing filmmaking and video content creation, whereas it was only available to people that could afford the equipment and the crews, and that's cost prohibitive. I make films, as you know, so it's been really difficult for me to do it, but I've been able to manage with small budgets and nice equipment and win awards with my films. But I'd like to be able to make like high budget films.
Yeah.
But how can I do that? Right.
I
So
think
so
that they
so
might have
video,
passed.
well, I'll be able to soon. And
Okay.
the next two things that obviously everybody's waiting for, I mean, it's really three things, but the top two is really the self-driving cars, robo taxis, et cetera. That's kind of on its way. We've already seen it's happening now in Vegas and a lot of other places where hundreds of cars have been driving for millions of miles. I mean, look, to me, people might roll their eyes at this, but if we can eliminate the hundreds of thousands of people who die behind the wheel every year in car accidents,
Hmm.
if we can eliminate that,
Yeah,
come on, man. Like, let's get rid of those car accidents.
that's
Two,
important for sure.
the painful, and I mean tearfully painful commuting to work for people who drive an hour to work and an hour back. And I hear this all the time. It's a huge problem.
Hmm.
Why not just sit in the back seat and let the robo taxi take you to work while you're working on your phone or your laptop?
Yep,
So you're not even paying
absolutely.
attention to the road. That would also eliminate that. And then, of course, AI robots, right? The ones that are around your house, doing your laundry, cooking your meals, cleaning your house, walking your dog, helping you up the stairs if you're too old, ordering your groceries, putting them away, running your errands, cutting your grass. I can go on and on and on and on. These
Yep.
AI robots are going to allow us to be free from the mundane, tedious daily tasks that we have to do. It'll do them
Hmm.
for us while we can focus on the more fun, creative, productive tasks that we want to do. And I think that's going to be a big shift. And then lastly, the singularity, the moment that AGI, artificial general intelligence, comes into play
Yep.
and is the smartest thing in the world, it becomes smarter than all of human knowledge in history combined, smarter than that. And when that happens, cancer gets, cured, diabetes gets cured, war gets stopped, famine, water problems, the shortages, all that stuff gets solved because it knows how to do it. It doesn't need our help. It just
Hmm.
starts creating the assets and the infrastructures needed to solve the problems. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, a lot of people are scared, but there's so many like great things that's gonna come from AI. I'm right there with you, man. I'm looking forward to getting me a robot. Actually, we went and test drove some Teslas yesterday with the idea of like, hey, we need to invest in one so we can have us a robo taxi for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. Well, let's go ahead and land this plane for people listening. Plug Venmo AI. Who's the ideal user? How can they get started if they want to check it out?
So anybody who's listening or watching and has a business and they have a website, it doesn't matter what your business is. If you're getting people on your website who are asking you questions and you're not able to answer them all, go to vengoai.com, vengoai.com. It's free. You're going to get 2 weeks free trial, no credit card needed. You have nothing to lose. Put it on your website automatically, trains, put it on your website, watch the leads come in. Once you run out of minutes or you run out of your free trial, you upgrade. There's like a cheap tier for like $29 a month. You can't beat that because one lead will get you $500 or $5,000 depending on what your business is.
Hmm.
And if you want to learn more about me, it's jasonsherman.org. You can see all the different crazy stuff I've done in my life and that I currently do. I have lots of cool projects coming up. I'm working on a new documentary about NASA called Before the Moon at beforethemoonfilm.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, appreciate you, Jason. I really love this convo. That wraps up another episode of the Executive Playbook. If you're running a service-based business, struggling to keep up with content, or need a way to connect customer info, go check out Vengo AI. As always, if this episode gave you any value, send it to a friend, leave a review, or follow the podcast for more founder stories, growth playbooks, and behind-the-scenes lessons from people doing real things in the real world. Until next time, keep stacking smart moves and keep stacking value. Catch you on the next one.